Hey, everybody, how are you? I'll wait till a few people jump on. It's a beautiful sunny morning, be it a little crisp and periodically raining, but apart from that, it's a beautifully sunny morning down here in New Zealand in midwinter. It's August. It's lovely to have you back with me. I've got a few things to chat about today, so I'm quite looking forward to showing you because I've been quite prolifically creative. That's what I'll say. Hey, everybody. Nice to see you pop on. Say hi to me in the chat. And I want to hear what you're up to as well. I'd love to hear what you're doing with your days. I'm finding that the days aren't long enough right now. I'm finding that there are not as many hours in the day as I require, and I'm not sure what to do about that. Hi, Colleen. It's lovely to see you. So, if you have any tips on making the hours stretch out, that would be really, really welcome. Hey, Robin, lovely to see you too. Oh, I've got some lots of YouTube people jumping on today. That's really nice. I remembered I was going to do something for YouTube, but I'm not sure how to do it. Oh, I forgot. I have to figure that out. You can do the thing where you say I'm coming live and then you can click on it. I have to remember to figure that out. Hey, nice to see you. New Mexico in the USA, Linda. You're catching your first live chat. Nice. Nice to have you here. Hey, Sabrina, lovely to see you too. How's it going down there? I've been watching you, Sabrina. Sabrina has been getting all sorts of goodies. I saw she got some new niddy noddies the other day. I thought, oh, nice. One of my niddy noddies has got a bit loose on the top, and my dad was here the other day, and I was asking him if he could maybe make it so that I don't know whether to, because they come off the ends, which is helpful for storage, but they're really loose now, and I'm just wondering if there's something. Maybe I need to wrap some electrician's tape or something inside one so it's just a little bit firmer. Something. I'm not sure that I want to make them on permanently. Can someone give me some advice about that, please? I figure it's better to be able to take the end off, but maybe I don't need to if I'm really careful. Hey, Charmaine, you're you're traveling the east coast of Australia and you're in Perth at the moment. Well, you won't be needing that new hat, Charmaine, will you? That's right, really nice. I don't think you will. Fantastic. It's still nice in Wisconsin in the US. Sitting on the deck again this afternoon while watching me. Nice. That sounds good. I can't see who that is, but I can see Beck has calling in from Sydney. And Tamsin has got fresh snow on the hills in Rangiora. I think, Tamsin, that's why it's cold everywhere, because the snow has started falling. It's like winter has finally arrived. You know, that little chill you get in the air. And here's Amanda. It's been ages since she caught me live. Amanda, you've probably got snow on your hills down there too. Hey, nice to see you guys joining. Hi, Barbara. Morning from snowy Harriet. There we are. You see, these are the Kiwis with a bit of snow. The other Barbara says, good morning from a chilly Christchurch where the occasional snowflakes are falling. Oh, Barbara, it's like romantic. Unless they go to a sludge on the ground, brown sludge. Knitting your second double time using Issachar Spinny and silk mohair held together. That sounds divine. Who's that's knitting that? I just pulled out some Issachar the other day. I've got some Issachar yarn behind me. I pulled it out and thought, oh, it's just divine. It could have been Spinny, actually. Is it the slightly rustic one, that's Spinny? I'm not sure. Piece of paper towel folded and pushed onto the end. Yes, I could do that, piece of paper towel, for my niddy noddy with the loose ends. I was sort of thinking maybe a little bit of electrical tape might work. You know that tape you get that goes around? Is it electrical tape? It's that tape that you get that something that you put around pipes if you're screwing to make them. It must be plumbing tape. It's some sort of tape, and it kind of sticks to itself. It's not sticky. It sort of sticks to itself. Anyway, you know what I mean. That could work, I'm thinking. Not very attractive, though. Hi, Lois. Morning from a damp New Plymouth. Yeah. Other Tamsin. Nice to see you, Tamsin. I'll be seeing you soon. Calling in from Napier. I'm heading off in a couple of weeks to Knit August Nights again down in Napier, which will be really fun. And I've been putting together all my class notes for one of my classes I'm teaching 2 classes. So I'm teaching multiple classes several times. Yeah, I've been putting together my class notes this week and it's quite fun. I'm looking forward to that. One of my girls is going to come with me. Actually, Tamsin, the one who loved all the fabric that you sent up last time, she's coming with me. Okay, yep, 1 degree at the bus stop. This is Amanda, no doubt. The child tried to go into school in shorts and a shirt. I sent him for a sweatshirt and he came back with his mayor hat on as well. Oh, that's so nice. I remember my son when we lived in the UK and he used to, my kids used to walk to school around the corner and he used to constantly appear in shorts to go to school when it would be cold and snowy. If it was too snowy, of course, there'd be no school. But when it was really cold, he'd appear in shorts, and I'd be sending it. You can't go out in shorts. It's bad enough that I'd get phone calls or messages from people saying, I saw Gabriel with no shoes on again. And he'd get out the door and he'd take off his shoes and he'd put them in his backpack and he'd go to school and he'd wear bare feet. And people would get upset and they'd tell me that he had no shoes. And I'd say, well, he's a Kiwi kid. Like he didn't grow up there, but he's a Kiwi kid. That's what they do in New Zealand. They don't wear shoes. So I'm sorry about that, but it's just obviously in his bones. So yeah, I used to get lots of people telling me about his no shoes. So shorts as well. I made a dirty lace using Iska Spinny. Lovely stuff, says Bronwyn. Oh, nice, Bronwyn. Plumbing tape. That's what it is. Yes, of course it is, because it's not electrical tape because you're putting it in the pipes. Yes. Very cold and Wairarapa, says Heather. Yeah, everyone knows it's plumbing tape except me. Finally worked it out. Excellent. I think I might try that as long as it's not a yucky color. I wonder if you could get a nice wood, like a faux wood color. That would be nice. Hey, from Pocono. Oh, you're not far from me. It's lovely. Yes, it is sunny. You're probably getting my sun. Good morning from another cold, wet day in Kimbolton. It's definitely wet here too. Hey, Heather. Yes, I can't wait to see you in Napier as well. Heather's going to bring her double time, aren't you, Heather? So we can talk about that and get that on your needles and sorted for you. It'd be really good. Okay, I have been so like a creative explosion happened in me. I don't know about you, but I have just needed a creative explosion for a while, and I keep knowing I need it, and I hadn't done anything about it, and I've been so busy and doing things and oh, I don't know. In the end, I just woke up one day and thought, right, today's the day. That's it. I'm just going to do it. My life is, I'm going to live the life that I want. That's what I'm going to do, and it involves enormous creativity, this life of mine. So I'm just going to make it happen. I don't care if I don't have time. I don't care if I don't have everything I need. I'm just going to do it, and I'm doing it now. And that happened a little while ago, a couple of weeks ago. So it has been pretty, I've been just really enjoying myself, actually. That's what's been happening. So the first thing I did was I got my spinning wheel, took it into my living room because it's been sitting out here in my studio, took my spinning wheel inside, and I think I told you last week, Mr. Myrtle really kindly, I had this little cream that I'd bought from Ashford. I've got an Ashford traditional. It's an old wheel. I can't quite date it. I think it's like from the 80s. It might be a little bit before that. And I bought it in the UK off a Canadian woman, and then brought it back to New Zealand. And it's actually a New Zealand wheel. It's a real classic New Zealand wheel. So I bought whole bits and pieces because I've been wanting to spin for years. Everyone who's been watching this for a while knows that. And I've been accumulating fiber over the last few years and just have not touched my wheel. It's just been all patterns and wardrobe toolbox and all of that kind of stuff. So I've been doing a lot of that. Anyway, I bought this little cream, which I didn't really need, but I wanted to see what it was like. And Mr. Myrtle moisturized my wheel. I had the rag, and he liked doing that. So he cleaned it all up for me, dusted it and cleaned it and everything. And then he helped me melt. I got at on the advice of Lynn from Fibre to Go, who came to do a session on spinning with us in Wardrobe Toolbox, and she came here to do it. It was great. She recommended that I get a stretchy, what are they called? One of those plasticky bands for my wheel. And so he helped me melt it and put that on the wheel, which was great. And I looked at it and I thought, oh, I really could do with replacing the drive bands. And then I came outside. Then I ordered some drive bands. I ordered 2. I thought I might as well have a spare. And then I came outside a couple of days later and realized I'd actually already bought some. I'd actually already bought a full kit with all the bits and pieces I need for the wheel to replace the whole thing. You can get those little sets from Ashford. And there in it is some drive bands. So now I have a lot of drive bands. I could spin for years without worrying about getting supplies. So I changed the drive bands and off I went. And I wasn't very good. I absolutely was pretty shocking. I showed a turbo band. That's it. I showed you last week on my bobbin what I was doing. It's ropey as. Like, it's literally ropey as, but it's also ropey as. I had kind of forgotten, even though you hear it, it's quite different, isn't it, doing it again? So I just had to get back in the rhythm of doing my spinning and just figuring out how to do it, how I like to hold things, how to draw. It was all just, I just had to remind myself. It wasn't quite like riding a bike. It was sort of like riding a trike. No, that would be easier. It was like riding a unicycle, I think. Like if I learned how to do that and I just had to remind myself and get my balance back. So I'm pretty rubbish actually to start with. So I'll show you my rubbish spinning. Now, I also found an old bobbin that I'd done ages ago, and I'm creating art yarn. That's exactly what I'm doing. I found an old bobbin. I thought I might as well just wash that and thwack it. No, I didn't. I don't think I plied it. I think this was already plied. Goodness me, I'm forgetting now. But I did that one as well. But this is the one I made. Look at that. Look, my mum looked at it and she went, "Oh, it's like a spin cycle." And I thought, it's not quite like spin cycle. But it's definitely barber poled. It's definitely got that. So it's got colors in it. It's really thick and thin. It's very ropey. So what I did was I just had, there it is, got some yellow. I actually had some cream that I had spun earlier, and I applied it together with the cream that I'd spun earlier. So I had just, other than a little bit of cream on cream, I had just spun the colored stuff. Look, it's really thick and thin. It's quite dodgy when I look at it. But anyway, it's done. And I am getting back in the rhythm of it. And I'm onto another bobbin and I'm starting to get a feel for it. But Lynn, I can see Lynn is here. Yay. Yes, it's a case of practice. And I'm going to go back and look at your video you did with us, Lynn, because you gave us some advice about drawing. And that's what I really need to work at. So I spun it together with the cream. It's kind of fun. I'm just using bits and pieces. I'm using a merino. It's about a 21 micron merino, apparently, that I'm using. And a few years ago, when I was having trouble getting things in New Zealand, I bought from the UK some, they look like our dog brushes. What are they called again? Where you brush. Oh, you know what they're called, the brushes. I bought some from the UK. And while I was there, I put some other stuff in my cart. I bought 2 sweater lots of lovely merino from this place in the UK. And it's called Westry or something like that. And they gave me a little sample bag of merino. And so it's these colors, all of these colors, these kind of browns and yellows and things like that. Well, some of them, what I've started doing, you can see I've done some over here. Oh, there's some grays. Did I do it on this one or not? I don't think I did. I might have started. What I've started doing is blending them on my new, or maybe I've blended some of the last ones here. I've got some sort of plummy colors where I've blended the gray with the red, or a bit of, I had some like this frog green. Well, it's not even frog. It was like this fluoro green and bright orange. Got a little bit of the orange in here, but I've started blending those together and and so I've just muted all the colors down so they're a little bit more to my taste. But so I've done that, and I've been spinning on a second one, but I don't know what I'll do with this. It might make booties for a grandchild that isn't born yet. My mum used to make these thick booties for my kids before they were walking, and they were sort of crawling. And they were nice thick booties, and they had, a fitting and knitting tie or crochet chain for the tie, and they'd go right up their little calves up to their knees and keep them so toasty and warm. And they weren't pretty little booties; they were robust booties. This would make great booties for a baby. I haven't got any grandchildren. There looks like there's no hope of getting them anytime soon, but I could always put that away, or that's what I was thinking. I don't know what I'll do, but that is it there, all spun up. And then while I was there, I also plied. I don't think I plied. I think I just soaked and thwacked this one, which actually does feel like rope. I don't know what I made this out of. It's something pretty robust. It could have been something. I could have dyed this fiber actually. This might have been stuff I was just practicing on. It's funny how you forget. You don't expect to forget, do you? You just don't expect to forget things. And I generally don't forget what yarn I've got, what the yarn is, even if I see it and it comes without a label. I generally remember what the yarn is, not always, but generally. But some things you just forget, like what needles did I use for that swatch? I would forget that. Or like this, what on earth was I spinning? I don't know, I've just totally forgotten. So it makes me think the other thing I need to do is actually start writing stuff down. And I might start making a little journal of all the bits and pieces I'm making, because I just will totally forget. Anyway, this is like rope, but I love these colors. They're really muted little colors. And it's something. In fact, what I might make with this, because it looks like it's going to felt beautifully, is I made a little, I can show you next time. I don't have it here. I made a little bag that hooks over my spinning wheel years ago. It was one of the first things I made after I started spinning. I used some of my knitting and I made this little bag, and then I felted it. And I'm very good at doing that. I felted it, and it had a little hook at the back, and it just hooks over my spinning wheel. Well, it's got a couple of little holes in it, and it really could do with replacing. So I could use that. I could make another little pouch and just felt it and do a little handle to go over the back. Anyway, that's my spinning. I've actually started. Started, which is really exciting, because you can expect, I have high expectations for what I'm going to do with my spinning. There's no point lowering those. Anyway, what else have I done? I've done other things. I've also done knitting. Now, I wanted to show you this. This was actually the new hat that we got in Wardrobe Toolbox. This was a second sample of the new hat we got, and my testers adored this hat, and I have to say, I do too. And it's our little Maya hat. But the reason I want to show you, not because many of you can actually get it at the moment, but because it's so cute, this little hat, and I knitted it. I'm going to be quite warm now. I've done this little rolled brim. So some of them have got a single brim, and then it's got a little rolled brim, and it's got this little pattern on it. Can you see? And for this, I used, let me just show you here. I used this is my Bliss Sport, and I mixed it with mohair, and I used this yarn floozy mohair. This is Seahorse. I know she still has Seahorse colorway. She's actually sold out of this particular mohair right now, but if you ask her, I'm sure she'll do more. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. And I mixed it with that, and it came up with this, and I'll try and show you a bit closer. Oh my gosh, it looks so pretty. It has these little pops of color. I don't know if you're going to see them so well. It has little pops of pink and pops of gold, and it just makes everything absolutely and utterly delicious, totally delicious. And the little hat. So I wanted to show you that, because I haven't made anything out of this Bliss yet, and it's such a beautiful, beautiful color, this green. It really is lovely. I'm going to do a jumper in it, but I just started with that, or I mixed it with that, and I've actually done a swatch for it mixed with the other thing. Let me reach over here, because I've also done a swatch with it mixed with Grace, which is the pinky one, and it goes beautifully with that. But you see where the other one pulled out the pinks and the golds and stuff, this has got greens as well, greens and the golds and the tawny colors. It's got a hot pink in it. It's so pretty, really pretty. I do love Yarn Floozy. I love her dyeing. Anyway, this is a little swatch I've made, which I haven't blocked yet. I've done it in the round. You can see how I do my swatches in the round. And it's the same. It's really softened it up. It's so beautiful. I just did it on 4.5 needles. So it's got a little bit of ease, but not too much, because I'm using it for this. My sister's put an order in for a hat. So I think I might do her. I could do one in this pinky color, I thought, but I wanted to see what it looked like with the mohair over the top. And yeah, I'm really pleased. It just starts to look a little bit tweedy, and I love that. Anyway, I can't tell you. I can't explain how much I love that, but I do. So this is the hat, the Maya hat. So I know a lot of you who are here are in Wardrobe Toolbox, and so this is your pattern. You've already seen me wear it anyway, because I wore it in our lesson and everything when we were talking about hats. But it's so cool, and it's so warm. Oh, I love this hat. I think it might become my favorite hat. So that is what else I've been doing. Knitting. I've got some other knitting which I can't show you because, of course, that'll be coming soon. I will show you some things soon, but not right yet. But the other thing I've been doing is some sewing. So let me show you the sewing. Just going to see your comments here. Yeah, that's what I need to do. More practice for the spinning, for sure. Now, the other thing I've done is I've done some sewing, and I did say that I would come this week and I would show you something I'd sewed, and I actually did. And I forced myself to do it. It's just that I've just been stealing time. In fact, what I did was I took my sewing machine and I took it into one of the kids' rooms who isn't here because they're at university, and I set myself up on the desk in there and spread myself out, and I put the ironing board in there, and it's out of the way, but everything is just left, and I can just go and sit back down and sew again. And it's made a bit of a difference to me because I just have been doing it. Just while I wait 15 minutes while the dinner's cooking, I'll just quickly go and sew a couple of seams, and I've been trying to fit it in like that. So I've made this little top, which is super, super simple. I had already cut it out, and I bought this fabric years ago. It is divine fabric. I think it's Japanese. I bought it at Fibersmith in Melbourne when I was in Melbourne. Now, that was many years ago. I bought this fabric, and I only bought enough to make a little top because it was very expensive. So I just didn't want to spend a fortune, but I bought enough to make a little top. I think that's what I did. I'm sure it was Fibersmith because I bought a few bunches of fabric when I was there. It could have been, no, it wasn't Merchant & Mills. I'm pretty sure it was Japanese. Anyway, I had already cut it out. I knew I was going to make a little top out of it. I'd cut it out into a little loo box top, and it's quite boxy. It's going to be great in the summer. I can't really wear it over the top of things. It will stick over the top of things in the winter. So it's going to be a summer top. I'll hold it right back so you can see it. It's really simple. It's just got this little hem. It's not very long, but I can just sort of pop it into the front of my trousers at the front. And I've actually just yesterday I saw that Sew Liberated had put out a new trouser pattern, which I grabbed, and I think I might make that. And you can just I can just tuck it into the front of my jeans or my little trousers or whatever. So there's the loo box top. You'll see the back is still open, and I have got to put a button on it, but I need to sit down and do that. And I was going to show you, I have a button in mind. I need a button with a shank, I decided, and I was thinking of this one, but I'm not 100% sure. But I was thinking of that button from Arrow Mountain. I know you can get those buttons directly from Arrow Mountain, but also from Yarn Floozy. So I was thinking of maybe putting that on the back. I thought that would be, I love the little chevron on it, and I thought that would actually work quite well with it. Be really cute. But what I wanted to do, I didn't add the loop like they suggest in the pattern. Look, it's so easy, this one. If you're a new sewer, it's a really good, easy one to start with. She's got instructions to do it with stretchy fabric as well as, solid wovens. But it's just got a few pieces. It's got back pieces that are 2 pieces. You sew them up the middle, and then you make your little thing. And then you can put a little loop in it made out of fabric, and I'll show you what I'm going to do instead. And then you have a front piece. There are no added sleeves. The sleeves are included. I actually hemmed my sleeves, and then I joined it up under the arms. And you need to be a little bit careful to make that neat and tidy. Otherwise, it can be a little bit of a dog's breakfast. But if you're really careful, you can make it neat and tidy when you do it that way. Otherwise, sew it up under the arms and then hem it around the sleeve. It's just this teeny, teeny little seam. And then you do this teeny, teeny little seam at the bottom as well. You just turn it up and just do a teeny seam. I know you can't really see that. Anyway, it just falls. I've done one in a rayon, which I'll show you previously. I still wear that in the summer quite a lot. But this one's a bit bigger. I just wanted one that's bigger and boxy, and it's going to be really good. I need to make a necklace to go with it. But what I want to do with the back of the neck is use the little shank on the button. This one that I've made earlier has got what I want to do. This is not ironed. I just grabbed it out of my drawer to show you. So this is the one I've made previously, this little loo box top. It's a lot smaller, you can see, and I made it in a rayon. And it's great in the summer. It's really great in the summer. And on the back neck, what I did was I used this little glass well, it's plastic, I suppose, but I used a little shank button for this one because it had that kind of glittery look to it. So I just picked it up. It's the little details, I think, that make things feel special. And then what I did was I made one of those loops out of thread. And that's what I'm going to do again. But because this is an overall bigger garment, I'm thinking of making it with a little bit of embroidery thread instead of cotton thread. I think this one is just a little light to go on this garment. So I might make it with a little bit of embroidery thread. So it's a little bit more robust. But I have forgotten how to do it. So I need to go back and remind myself how to do it. I just found instructions online, I think, and just made that little loop. And it's really good. It's a really good little loop. Anyway, I've worn this top a lot. It's a great top, and I do love it in the rayon. It falls beautifully. And I do love this particular fabric. But again, it's quite a short one because I use the fabric sideways, and because the fabric came like that, and I turned it and used it sideways so I could have that fabulous colouring going up the body like that. Excuse my wrinkles. So that is what I have been up to. All of this making and spinning and knitting and sewing and organisation, and it has been fantastic. It feels fantastic, and I'm really pleased. So what my plan is, I have got I think I told you last week that I had bought that Hinterland dress. I do like the patterns from Sew Liberated. She has some really lovely patterns. Meg McElwee, her name is. So I got a dress pattern of hers, which I found the fabric for, and I'm going to make that. And I have a piece of knitwear that can go with it in my mind. Hasn't been knitted yet. And I'm going to do that. So next week I'll bring some of that. I don't know if I'll manage to get the whole thing finished, but I'll do some of it by next week, and I'll bring it and show you. And I'll aim to do a little bit more. I might aim to finish another bobbin on my spinning wheel, but I have a lot of knitting to do this week, so I'll be doing that as well. Alrighty, everybody. It was so lovely to see you. I will catch up with you next week with all my making and spinning and sewing, and I can't wait to see what you're working on as well. You must show me. It's so inspiring seeing what everyone else is doing. So if you aren't in the lounge, if you aren't in the, not the lounge, I always do that. If you're not in the Hangout, you're watching this on YouTube, then come over to the Hangout on Facebook. It's a really good place to hang out, and everyone's really supportive, and it's so nice to see what you're working on. Don't forget, at the moment we're running the extravaganza, the Truly Myrtle extravaganza. There are prizes. We've got a few categories. We've got make a Truly Myrtle pattern, or use Truly Myrtle yarn, or if you've done both Truly Myrtle pattern and Truly Myrtle yarn, you can enter twice, and there'll be prizes, and they will all be drawn at the end of the month. So come and join the extravaganza and have some fun with that. And is that about it? Is that what I was going to tell you? Join the Hangout. It's the place to be. It really is the place to be. I think there's about 4,000 people or something over there now, so it's really nice. I think there is. Might be a little less, a little more. I can't remember the number. But the other thing that was a really good idea to do is to jump onto my mini mag list. So if you like hearing from me and you want to get a replay of this video, and you don't want to get it from Facebook or YouTube or whatever, I actually put a replay of my video in the mini mag every single week, just short, and it's just chatty. It's where you get the pattern discounts and stuff like that as well. So you can find that at trulymyrtle.com/mini mag. I think that's it. I'm going to go and do some more work. I'm going to go and do some more knitting, I think, actually, today. I will catch you all later. Have a lovely week. Do lots of knitting. See you later. Bye, everybody.